everybody. Welcome to this show. Jawsbreakers, scary, funny shark show. Coming in, fumbling and bumbling for season 3. My name is Brett Gordon. That one there is...
Jar McGargar.
That's not your real name. Okay, Jasmine. I will accept either, of course, however. Yeah, and real quick, we'll introduce you in just a second. Jasmine.
What's that?
We took a month off.
We sure did.
We sure did.
It was nice.
What'd you do?
Spent it with family.
Not me. Why wasn't I invited?
That is not true at all.
You see the way she treats me, dear listener. She's so cruel.
We did some filming.
And Cisco, I will introduce you in just a second. So yeah, my name is Brett. It's lovely to meet you. I'm the host of this fine enterprise, and that one there is Jasmine. If you never heard the show before, we are a shark movie, comedy movie watching podcast show where you watch the movies with us, alongside us, whether that's on Twitch or Discord now. And then we do a podcast about that movie. And that's what this is. This is the podcast. And we watched a movie. And Cisco, I will introduce you in just a minute. So my break was good. I spent it mostly with family. Jasmine wasn't invited. Didn't see her the whole time. No, that's not true. We had a lovely break, but it's good to be back in the saddle. We got a lot of fun things planned, and we did a lot of fun things last week. And we'll get to that. And Cisco, I will introduce you in just a minute.
You know what? I'm just going to go for it right now. Everybody with us today live, it's Cisco.
Unprecedented. Well, since Jasmine felt the need to take the reins, she's now in charge of the show, and I guess I'm retired. But Cisco, your name is also Klayshen, Klayshen. People can find you as thus on Twitch, on almost at Twitter, Twitch, and Twitter. There you go.
And Instagram.
And Instagram, we're getting the plugs right off the top.
And who are you, Cisco?
He's a human being. Don't be so cruel.
I am a manatee in human skin.
Oh,
no,
boy.
Holy jeez.
No, I'm a Twitch streamer, small time, and one of y'all's friends. At least
Look,
I hope so.
Very good friend.
Nobody is more small time than we are, and you are, in fact, one of our friends. In fact, one would go far as to say that you're family. Unlike my sister, who doesn't invite me to anything. Yeah, so over the course of the break, we decided that we wanted to. I think we talked about this when we before the break too. That we was going to start streaming some on Discord.
On the good old Discord that I don't really know how to use, but we did it.
Hold on. Let's put a pin in that. We'll come back to that. Our Lord and Savior, Chris Logan, did show me how to do it. And it's shockingly easy, very little to go into it to make it work. Jasmine, it's not that you don't really know how to use it. It's that you refuse to learn. There's a difference. Now, as is Jawsbreakers tradition, we did have technical difficulties at the beginning because... it would not be a Jawsbreakers stream if we just didn't have horrible technical problems at the beginning. And it also wouldn't be a Jawsbreakers stream if myself, didn't blow a gasket because things won't work. So, and then Jasmine being mad that I'm mad. So that...
and then me coming in to fix everything.
Yes, Cisco, thank you very much for being our tech man on call there. It was a pleasure having you on the stream.
I had to physically leave while you all were setting it up because I just can't.
No, you were eating Taco Bell. Let's be real.
No, I went to go get Taco Bell.
Which I was not invited to.
I bought you dinner. Excuse me?
So we watched a little movie on Discord called 47 Meters Down. Oh my gosh. Yay! So
what a movie it was.
So if you never listened to the show before, first of all, I want to welcome you yet again.
Hi.
We're going to talk about this movie that we watched, including talk about the people that were in the stream, and we'll talk about our thoughts about the movie, the plot, all that stuff. We're going to spoil it all. So if you don't want spoilers for a movie that's like 8 years old now, I don't know what to tell you.
Just
I
deal
don't
with
know.
it and listen to our podcast. Thank you very much.
Just close the podcast app, rate 5 stars, leave a review, watch 47 meters down, and then come back.
And then come back. And
then
either
go
agree or
and
disagree.
then go to the Twitter at Jaws_show and subscribe to it. And then go to the Instagram for InstaPodDog and subscribe to that.
And then buy our merch.
And then buy our merch at tpublic.com/user/poddog.
Exactly.
That's another thing too, is during the break, we made a ton of merch and it's sold shockingly okay. I was surprised. It's not going to let us quit our jobs by any stretch, of which I didn't have one. For like 2 months, I didn't have one. If anybody cares at all, I did get a job and then just been waiting to start, which I did in fact start this week. I don't need that. Don't patronize me. Underwater, no one can hear you clap. Anywho, so we watched 47 meters down. First off, Jasmine, before we get to thoughts and Cisco, I'll introduce you in just a minute. Want to say thank you to Lord and Savior Chris Logan, Cutie Whirlpool, Vinny T3, IX Pennywise, Mayor Bear, Rahaze for popping in on the stream.
All the hearts.
As well as Priya. Priya was also in there, friend of the show, Priya. You might have heard her on the 47 Announcements Deep.
We love you, Priya.
We love you. We also love our newcomer, Mayor Bear. Mary, thank you so much for being in there. That was great.
Thanks. Thank you.
And about midway through the movie, we took a 10-minute break so people could go potty and get food and drink or whatever they needed to do. And we gave away copies of the movie. So we gave away just to random people. And Vinny and Mary were our winners for the Blu-ray copies of 47 Meters Down. So hoping to do more of that this year too. And
if you want some free movies, you got to tune in.
Yeah, we're not going to do it. Well, yeah, for sure. Like you have to be in the stream. Mm-hmm. Like, and I don't mean like for 1 second, like you have to be in there for a little bit, right?
You have to join us for a wonderful movie date.
Right. Yeah, it's a date. For sure. You're dating all of us simultaneously. And Cisco, I will introduce you in just a minute. So thank you. And of course, Cisco, you were there as well. Thank you very much for coming and being our guest. Also there Anytime. Was mine and Jasmine's real life sister, Savannah, rare appearance from her, and bro-in-law, Jacob. And we had a nice time doing
matching shark onesies
with commentary during the show. It was very funny. So I'd say go back and watch the video on demand if you could, but you can't. You got to be there. It's a Discord exclusive. Oh, we should probably say join our Discord if you want to watch this with links for everything in the description. Cisco, what'd you think of this movie? 47 Meters Down.
I liked it. To be honest with you, like that ending, like holy shit.
Yeah, we'll get to the ending.
We'll
don't jump the shark too much. And Cisco, I didn't introduce you yet, so I would appreciate it if you just held on for just a minute.
For those of you who don't know, 47 Meters Down, and the first one is Brett and my favorite shark movie that we have seen.
Super spoiler alert. I thought we'd get into that as we got to ranking it on the ultimate shark movie tier list.
If you've listened to our podcast, we've talked about it multiple times.
It is indeed our favorite, which, like, why would they bother listening to the rest of this if they know how it's gonna people tune in to see where these movies rank because it's an undisputed list and people want to know. So we might as well just go ahead and rank it right now, right? And then we'll break it down. And then we'll break it down, right?
That's fine by
might
me.
As well.
We already know. We already know.
Yeah.
We already know.
Well, here's the thing, though. Cisco's here, and his vote 100% counts. There's a 3-way vote now. So
that's true.
He might have hated the movie. Our favorite movie might not be number one. So if you're unfamiliar, here is the current list of movies since the inception of Jawsbreakers.
We're just skipping everything right
Starting
now.
at number 13, Virus Shark. 12, Ice Sharks. 11, Avalanche Sharks. Number 10, Mega Shark versus Crocosaurus. Number 9, Planet of the Sharks. Number 8, Empire of the Sharks / Sharks of the Corn. It was a tie. Number 7, Santa Jaws. Number 6, Sharktopus. Number 5, Ouija Shark. Number 4, House Shark. Number 3, The Reef. Number 2, Six-Headed Shark Attack. And number 1, 47 Meters Down Uncaged, which is the sequel to 47 Meters Down, even though they technically don't have anything to do with each other than they're sharks eating people. So, So we rank our movies on a scale of eye roll meter, brutality, and the cheesy factor, and all that goes in to create its overall sharky rating, and then we have to scientifically place it on the list. So, Cisco, you're our guest, but I will not introduce you. I've decided I'm not introducing you for this whole show. Jasmine did, but I will not. He who shall not be named. How eye rolly was this for you?
It was. What are we doing? 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10, 30 out of 10.
You can do whatever you want to do. It is completely subjective.
Eye rolly
5 stars for I don't know.
Eye rolly, I would say it's a good 7 fins out of 10.
7 out of 10. Now is that
For
a good eye roll or bad eye roll? Does that mean you rolled your eyes a lot or what?
I rolled my eyes a lot, but I also face bobbed at least twice.
Okay.
I would take that as a good eye roll.
I would say that's bad. I would say that's not in the
Really?
film's favor because this is not a cheesy shark movie. This is meant to be a
That's true.
legit horror movie. Sometimes eye roll meter works in favor of the movie when the movie tongue-in-cheek knows that it's not good, right? Like, for instance, House Shark knows it's not good, but it still manages to overcome that and make fun of itself throughout the movie. It's a brilliant masterpiece and everyone should watch it. 47 Meters Down is not funny at all. It is not a comedy. It is not meant to be taken lightly. These people are in serious trouble. For me, I didn't roll my eyes a single time. So none.
Same here.
That's
0,
2
yeah.
zeros. So 2 zeros and a 7.
Math.
Where does that bring that down to? So
About
Math.
3.
We know everything about
3. Well, no, it comes down twice because there's 3 votes. So if we started at 7, a 0 brings it down to 3.5, and then another 0 would bring it down to what, 1 3/4?
Something like that, yeah.
So we'll put a 1 3/4 rating on the eye roll meter. Okay. That could
My
be either
question
good or
is,
bad.
when did you even eye roll, bro?
Yeah, like give us an example of when you roll.
Yeah, when did you roll
when did you
your
face
eyes?
palm?
We have to know. This is our.
Actually, you know what? Why don't you save save that for when
Okay.
Jasmine breaks down the plot of the movie? You can be like, that scene. That scene was terrible, and I rolled my eyes, or I smashed my face against the wall. It was so bad.
Well, I pick apart movies, but that's my problem.
Oh, that's not a problem.
As you
This
all
is not a
saw
problem.
during
It's
as
what
you
this
all-
movie, what this podcast is about.
We're here to
as you
talk
all
about
saw
movies.
during the stream, I pick apart everything.
Not anymore, Jasmine, by the way. We are a hashtag positivity podcast now. We are a reformed podcast under the Lord and Savior, Chris Logan.
I don't know. I feel like I'm still a negative Nancy.
Well,
movies
I'll
that
have
you
to
watch.
lift you both up with my incredible hulking positive shoulders.
You can
Okay.
still be positive and rip something apart. You just got to be. You just got to do it with a smile.
Yeah, the Hulk's like, you look great today as he smashes your car to pieces. Sure.
Exactly.
Next on our category is brutality. The quality of kills, the quantity of kills, goriness, non-gory. Like how is this movie fare brutality wise? I'll go first this time. This movie's pretty harsh, but it definitely benefits from having a AAA budget. A lot of times in these shark movies, it's clearly low budget, and you might see like a puppet shark grab someone by the shoulder and they go,
Or
as they're
fake
pulled off.
plastic arm and or leg.
Yeah, in like the backseat of someone's car, or you'll see like a comical amount of like blood splatter, where it's like clearly like a tube shooting water from a motor or something. Like guilty, you'll see that a lot out of these lower budget movies. This movie's not a low budget movie. Like the blood effects look real. It's
The wounds look
underwater,
real?
like they look real. Like when Mandy Moore, spoiler alert, Mandy Moore's in this movie, has her hand cut and she's like looking at it. We'll get to that part, but like you can see the blood cloud coming out. Like it looks great.
It's believable.
But this movie isn't as gory as like some movies lean way into the gore.
All the blood.
Over the break, I watched the Hellboy reboot and I saw a man get his skin ripped off of his body. Like just
I need to watch that.
Like
I mean, the new Suicide Squad is also pretty
Oh,
gory.
yeah, King Shark. Oh, he's a shark. Maybe we get to watch the Suicide Squad someday. Add it to the list. It
Maybe.
counts. It counts.
Not a shark.
Yeah, he rips someone's skin clean off their body. Like, so some movies lean straight really into the gore factor. I don't think this movie was overly gory. I think we saw a couple body parts. We definitely see sharks, latch onto people's backs and legs and things, and you see lacerations and bite wounds and exposed flesh bits and a lot of blood. But I don't think this movie was overly gory. Jasmine, what about you?
I agree, but to me, it was all believable. I believe that could have been a shark bite. I believe that cut was exactly how it looked. Like, the special effects in this were very believable for me.
Oh, by the way, brutality, 10 out of 10 for me, and I'll explain why after Cisco goes.
All right. Me, it's like the effects are great. Like, as you said, they're really believable. Me personally, I wish there was a little bit more gore. I'm a gore hound.
Because you're a sick man.
Well, to be honest, for a shark movie, this movie isn't really it's not all about the shark.
And Cisco, I will introduce you to a therapist after this.
Or introduce you to the listeners in a bit.
Jasmine, by the way, what was your score? You never said.
10. Brutality.
10? Okay.
Yeah,
Cisco?
It's believable.
Number? You got a number to put on that?
I'll give it an 8 brutality.
Okay.
If we would have saw more of Javier getting eaten, yes, it would probably bump it up to a 10.
So I want to explain why I gave it a 10 exactly, because I literally just said like it's not as gory as it could be, and despite the effects being great, I think the real brutality of this movie is the monumental twist that we get towards the end of the movie. The psychological terror that this movie presents is unlike any other shark movie, short of Jaws itself, that any shark movie has ever presented ever. And then the crippling loss at the end is also the reef level traumatizing. So 10 out of 10 for me for that reason. Next up, we have
is so believable in this movie.
Jasmine. Next up, we have the cheesy factor. How cheesy is this movie? Now, Cisco, the cheese factor can be both good or bad, just like any of the other ones. Did the cheese factor hurt or help this movie, or was there a cheese factor at all?
I don't think that there was a cheese factor. I think that there might have been some parts where, like at the very beginning when they were on land, maybe where they had some like cute little things that they were saying.
I don't think that's cheesy. I think that's two grown adult white American women and having a nice time in Mexico.
No, I mean like I don't remember exactly what they were saying, but I think that one of them said something cheesy.
What do you mean you don't remember? You're like the plot person that explains the plot of this movie.
I don't remember every single word that everyone says.
You're supposed to be writing all this down. Cisco, she can't pick. She doesn't know numbers.
I don't think there's any cheese.
Give us a number.
I'm going to give it a 0. And it's
okay,
a good 0.
Cisco, you're up.
I'd say the beginning, there was a little bit of cheese. Just for the fact that the whole, as I said, the whole Taken scenario, in my opinion, like they just, let's go do this. We've never been scuba diving. Let's go do this. No, I'd have to give it probably 3 or 4 on the cheese, but it's a horror movie, so it's a good cheese. Because I mean, all horror movies need a little bit of cheese, just because it's a horror movie. Don't go in there. Don't run up the stairs. Take off your fucking heels. Scream.
For me, this movie only had, I thought all that stuff was perfectly believable. I mean, we are not carbon copies of each other. Some people on vacation feel adventurous enough to go do things they've never done before. For me, that's not going to be shark cage diving.
But we would do it at a reputable
some people
place.
would do that would love to do that. I know someone who would love to do that.
Me and you, we're gonna go do it.
I thought we had plans
someday.
to do this.
Someday. It's gonna take
But
a lot.
it'll definitely be
I need a
reputable
therapist to come with
place.
me for that one. So if you can introduce me to one, that'd be great. Yeah. So my one cheesy thing that I thought was cheesy is this movie suffers from the classic horror movie final girl thing where someone lives, right? Sometimes the bad guys win. Sometimes not all the time. Everyone needs to live. Sometimes the bad guys win, and that's okay. And the way this movie was going, I thought that was going to be the case. I thought it was going to fade to black, just Mike on the floor, standing ovation, but we got some more after that, and someone survived at the end. And I thought that was unnecessary. However, they did make it kind of harsh in the fact that she was the only survivor. So it kind of, I don't know. So
I like the fact that we actually had a survivor in this movie, because in a lot of horror movies you don't see a survivor, and I like that.
no, most horror movies you get a survivor, Jasmine. That's why you have sequels.
I actually would have to agree with Brett, to be honest with you. Like, me personally, I would have liked to see the ending instead of the whole Narcosis thing. I think that's what it's called.
No, I wanted the Narcosis thing and then end. That's what I wanted.
I would like to see, instead of the Narcosis, have her be hallucinating because she's running out of oxygen, and have her never have gotten the oxygen bottle, and just faded out onto her diving gauge with 0.
That, I think that would have been great. So for me, I can't give it more than a 1 on the cheesy factor, because other movies don't excuse you from being cheesy, but there are loads of horror movies where the final girl lives. It's just a thing. So that drives the overall average for cheese factor to a 1. So we have a 1.75 for eye roll, a 1 for cheesiness, and a 9.5 in brutality. So now we must rank this on our overall shark list. And Jasmine, Cisco, I will introduce you in just a second. Oh man, this for me is better than none of them. It's going at the clear bottom of the list. It's the worst movie we've ever seen. No, I'm just kidding. It's better than 47. It's better than 47 Meters Down Uncaged. It just is. And as much as I like that movie a lot too, it's better than that. So number 1 on my list, Jasmine, care to elaborate?
You know, it's numero
No,
uno.
I know, but this is a podcast where you need to talk. Create audio.
We going 1.
Well, hold on now, Cisco.
Number 1.
Now, Cisco, I know you've probably not watched all these, but I know you've been in the stream more than a few times, and you've listened to the podcast before. Based on what you know of the movies that were on the list, and I can give it to you again if you need me to. Where would you rank this movie?
I would have to say it's probably high. It's probably high up there. I said I haven't seen the other movies.
Well,
but I also think Virus Shark needs to be high up there too.
Well, we're not relitigating Virus Shark. We're just not going to do that.
Because Virus Shark was great just because it was bad. But no, I would have to say this probably ranks. I haven't seen Uncaged. So
okay. Well, have you seen Six-Headed Shark Attack?
I have not.
Have you
I've
seen?
just watched y'all's reviews on them.
Okay. So you know a little bit about it. How about The Reef?
I've never seen it.
Okay. Well, we got to find one that you have seen so that we know where this ranks on there.
Sharks of the Corn and Virus Shark.
Okay. So is this movie better than Sharks of the Corn?
Yes.
Okay. So automatically it's going to be at least number 7, just below Santa Jaws, because it's better than Sharks of the Corn.
I think it's a really good movie because it had a good budget. Like, I would have to say probably 2 or 3 at least. I can't say 1 because I haven't seen Uncaged, haven't seen the other ones.
We're at an impasse.
But I'm also, as I said, I love B and C horror movies. So
if you think it's good enough to be 2 or 3, assume based on what you've heard about, basically based off of what you heard about on the podcast for Six-Headed Shark Attack, then mine and Jasmine putting it at number 1 would average it out and probably still put it at number 1.
I'll agree with that.
Just a heads up, the second 47 Meters Down Uncaged was directed by the same director. So if that tells you anything about how good that movie is compared to how good
sequels are never as good as the original, with very few exceptions.
But that's one of the reasons why it's at the top, is because of the same director, and they're both really good.
Jasmine, pitch it to him. Pitch him. Give him the elevator pitch for 47 Meters Down Uncaged, and he can decide on the spot whether or not 47 Meters Down 1 belongs above or below it. Go. I'm timing you.
Okay, so 47 meters down had a
Hang
smaller
on a second.
cast.
I got it. Excuse me, ma'am. Let me hit the button on this elevator. Ding.
Okay.
Going to the top floor.
47 meters down had a very much smaller cast and probably a smaller budget. I can't remember.
We're already on the
And
3rd floor. I'm going to
and
the
if
8th
you just
floor.
imagine the face masks and expressions and how the two actresses were basically the whole movie,
Mhm.
and they held that
Someone
movie
hit
up.
7. Damn it. Hold on. The doors are opening. This little old lady wants in. Hang on. Okay, go ahead. Oh, she just hit 13. Go continue.
It's just better. Just say it's better.
Did you finish giving them the pitch or what?
Yeah, that's what.
Sharks in blind great white sharks that got trapped in ancient like Mayan caves that got flooded underwater.
Blinded sharks.
That's what I just said. And they've like
Okay.
kind of they continue to live under the caves in these ruins in Central, I think Central America, maybe South America. But
I would have to give it to Uncaged. Oh no, I'll give it to the original
Okay.
for the simple fact it's more believable.
And
Uncaged
and
definitely will take second for me though.
I think
'Cause-
I thought Uncaged was for sure going to be on top for you just because it was like an entire shark movie in an underwater cave system.
I do have
with
to
Like
say,
that's very close. It's
with,
very
like,
close for me to
blind-
get that.
Great whites that evolved separately of other great whites.
I mean, you have to give it to 47 meters down because literally the whole movie was basically two actresses. Like that was basically the whole
I'll
movie
gi-
compared to Uncaged, who you have like a group of women.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll put 47 meters down original number 1. Uncaged is a very close second. I would
So
say
you'll have to
Uncaged
come
is on the
over and
same.
watch Uncaged with us again, just so you can see it.
Yes, I will definitely. I think Uncaged is like has one foot on the number 1 podium and 1 foot on number 2.
I can't wait for you to. We're gonna watch Uncaged.
We're not doing
and-
another tie. We're not.
Well, we're
just
not.
gonna do it.
We're not going. Yeah, we're not gonna do
No,
that.
it's-
And
it's-
off
it's not-
screen.
It's not a tie, but it's definitely close.
Later on Twitter, Brett, you can tell we can announce which one Siska's favorite was after he watches.
Oh man,
Okay.
we really fucked up. We should have saved 47 meters down for episode 47.
Oh,
What a shame.
What episode are we on right
14, I think.
now? No, I didn't. I wasn't gonna wait that long to watch that movie and review it.
Watch
Heck
more
no.
movies. So now's the part of the so since we did that part first, 47 meters down is
Wait.
going to land at what?
I was gonna say you didn't say for
$5
sure that it's
foot long. You can't just put
number-
stuff into the
number
camera. and expect
one.
people to hear the
Number
movement of
one.
your hands.
number 1. Is it number 1, Brett?
It's number 1, 47 meters
Yay!
down, with a very close second. Number 2, 47 meters down in Cage, followed by Six-Headed Shark Attack, The Reef, House Shark, Ouija Shark, Sharktopus. Bringing up the bottom of the list, starting at number 12, Avalanche Sharks, number 13, Ice Sharks, and lastly, Fire Sharks. Apologies to Cisco. So since with that out of the way, now we gotta talk about the meat of this movie.
We gotta talk about the movie.
Jasmine, this is where you specialize. Take it away. Who acted
Okay.
in it? Who directed it? Who wrote it? Give us the trivia. Give us the plot. And Cisco, feel free to jump in at any time when
Okay.
I get tired of hearing her voice.
So we
No wonder I'm
basically
not
reviewed
invited to anything.
we basically reviewed it first, but we watched 47 Meters Down. It was a
What?
movie that came out on June 16th, 2017.
But we never saw the other 46.
Yeah, no, that didn't happen. The movie is about an hour and a half. It did have
Which-
a very big budget,
By the way, hour and a half. Mwah. Chef's kiss. Perfect length.
perfect length. Budget for
I
this
agree.
movie, not surprising, is $5.3 million.
Honestly, not that much.
It was directed by, I'm gonna just like all the other names that I ever pronounce on this freaking show, I'm gonna butcher it.
Do some
It was
homework.
directed by Johannes Roberts.
I'm sorry.
Johan.
Johan.
J-
Yeah.
J-O-H-A-N-N-E-S.
Johannnes.
That guy.
Johannes or Johannes.
Yeah, you might know him from other films like the newest Resident Evil movie, Welcome to Raccoon City.
Oh,
He
very good. We
actually
have not
directed
seen that. I haven't
I
seen
haven't
it.
seen that either yet.
Need to. Forgot about
the
it.
movie Dark Hunters and obviously 47 Meters Down, Uncaged.
Also, he makes a return in the sequel. Okay.
Yes. What's next? Continue. Stars. Who's in this movie?
Ratings. Well, I'm getting to the ratings.
Oh, wow. Okay. We're just throwing Mandy Moore under the bus, I guess.
No,
She cannot be ignored.
Okay, we got Mandy Moore as Lisa
Mm-hmm.
and Claire Holt as Kate, which are the main two ladies we see in this movie. We got Matthew Modine. He played the old Captain Taylor, the guy that was like, "Are you sure you want to come on this boat?"
Mm-hmm.
You got Yanni Gelman, who played Lewis. Chris Johnson as Javier. Louise. Okay.
Continue.
Chris Johnson as Javier. Axel Mansilla as band leader, whatever that means. But I don't know who that was.
When they're partying at the beginning, you really don't have to get into who all the extras and stuff were, Jasmine.
That's it.
To be honest, there's only like 5 characters in this movie at large. You have the 2 hot guys, you have the sea captain, and you have 2 hot girls. And they're not just hot girls, I might add. They are respectable women, and you will treat them as such, Cisco.
Question, actually.
I answer.
I think it's which one is it that survives at the end? I can't remember.
Mandy Moore, Lisa.
Okay.
AKA Lisa.
That question, I'm just curious. Does she make a return in Uncaged?
She does not.
She does not. This
Uncaged
is a completely new movie.
Uncaged has, well, even if they put, like, I was waiting to see if she'd get a cameo or something, but where would she be in that movie? Like, I just don't know where they would put her, honestly. Maybe as I don't even know. Maybe she's on vacation again and she didn't learn a lesson the first time. I don't know.
I say she's in a desert, in a nice desert somewhere with no water.
She's in the mountains. Yeah. She's with me in the other room, actually. Honey, do you want to come be on the podcast? We're doing 47 meters down. Yeah, that movie you were in, the shark one. Oh,
he's lost his mind again, y'all.
Oh, it was number one. It was number 1 on our list. You're number 1 in my heart. Okay, go to your mother's. That's fine. Okay, well, Mandy Moore was here in the house.
Okay.
So
ratings. Next part.
Ratings. Go. Move it.
I'm just gonna go through it. IMDb gave it a 5.7 out of 10. It got 53% Rotten Tomatoes. I don't know what Metacritic is, but it got 52%.
How do you not know what Metacritic is?
I don't know.
Oh, it's not even worth getting into.
And then 70% of Google users like this movie, which that makes sense to me. I don't know where all these 50s came from.
Metacritic is a conglomerate of all the professional critics they average out all the scores, and then they also have like a user rating that averages out all the users' ratings
I feel like the Google users are correct and everybody else is wrong. Actually, that's a lie. We're right and everybody else is wrong.
Yeah, we're right.
Is 10 out of 10.
There's only one. You could argue there's only one movie better than this. Only one shark movie that's better than this, and we might even probably watch that this season. Actually,
it's just a heads up. It's not the Meg.
No, we're not watching the Meg this season. Don't say shark movies that we're not going to watch this year.
That movie is terrible.
Which one do you think which one do you think's better, Brett?
We can't talk about it. We'll talk about it on that episode. And I said it might be better. Anyway, so this movie starts off. We have Mandy Moore.
Give him the breakdown, Brett. Give him the breakdown.
Well, you won't, so I guess I have to. So 47 meters down begins with 2 young ladies on vacation in Central or South America. I'm not 100% sure. Mexico. Claire Holt and Mandy Moore play. Are they actual sisters? I think they are. Yeah, they are. They are actual sisters. Mandy Moore is coming off of a rather sad breakup, potential, probably even a divorce. We're clued into some of her
Troubles.
Text messages. She's very broken up over this. She even admits to missing the guy, and he's just like, my stuff is out of the apartment. Basically, her sister has brought her down here to Mexico to try and get her groove back. And so she won't be sad anymore. What do you mean that's not true?
The trip was supposed to be between Mandy Moore and her boyfriend, who they were breaking up.
Right.
So she brought her sister,
and then it became her trying to get her groove back. So they meet a couple of hot guys at the dance party, and they convince them to come out the next morning for a little shark diving getaway. It'll be fun. It'll be a nice adventure. And they are, in fact, cute guys. We get a nice meeting in the next morning with the sea captain.
Get some boy booty on the boat.
I mean, they could have done that without going to see sharks, honestly. But especially Claire Holt is really looking forward to the adventure. Mm-hmm. They get there, and I think it's mentioned that Mandy Moore took like a diving class like once, but she doesn't really remember.
No, it was Kate that took the diving class. Mandy Moore had no idea.
See, this would be better if you would tell it because you know what you're talking about, but I just couldn't get you to do it.
I'm just here to fact check it.
Okay.
I got you back.
So Sea Captain clearly doesn't buy that Mandy Moore, like you can see it in his face. He doesn't buy that she knows what she's doing, but he takes her.
But
anyway
he's doing his friends a solid.
Well, no, I just don't think he gives a shit. Like he's making money. He's in this job to make money. Mm-hmm. And really, what's the worst that can happen? Never mind that the winch on his boat is rustier than hell.
Sure is. It is not a very big boat.
Mm-mm.
And the cage is rusty. It just you can tell right away that the equipment is faulty.
I mean, worst case scenario in the whole thing is to be honest, this is how I thought the movie was going to go. Is the winch breaks, they drop the thing. Oh well, what American Girls? I don't know what American Girls you're talking about.
Well, we'll definitely get to that soon, and probably on the other side of this break that we're about to take. So while we go off to spread the gospel about 47 meters down, you're going to listen to this gospel about a little show called The Best of the Rest, made by our very own Lord and Savior, Chris Logan. So see you on the other side of the break, where we will finish talking about the movie, and we have a quiz, which will be very entertaining. So
we love you, Chris Logan.
We love you, Chris Logan.
Hi,
Cisco.
Chris Logan.
No. Cisco, say it. Praise be to God. Say it.
Oh, praise Chris Logan.
Thank you.
20.
No, I don't think it was 20 because
it was it definitely felt to me way more than 20. As a human being with thalassophobia, it felt like eternity. But we get a couple of great horror movie scenes here, especially specifically with Mandy Moore with her acting chops. And I don't mean that sarcastically at all. I thought she did great.
I mean, both of them did. I mean, you can
for sure.
They're wearing the mask, and you can believe everything.
Claire Holt is the voice of reason in this, whereas Mandy Moore is like, they're leaving us. They're leaving us. There wasn't a second winch on the boat. They're not coming back. We're dead. Which was probably how I would respond. I would have probably taken the mask off and swallowed a bunch of seawater right from the get-go. Been a lot of pain. And then you could have floated with my body all the way to the top. Jasmine.
We forgot. Keep in mind, when they fell down, Mandy Moore did pass out, and she did have like a bloody nose that they ended up having to like take the blood out. So they were adding more blood and attracting.
I mean, we don't really have to talk about every specific little thing in this movie.
Well, they made that like a point in the movie to show you.
Yes. That's why I remembered it. So eventually Javier comes down there and hooks up the spare winch, and they start.
Wait, we didn't.
We don't have to go through every single specific scene. We will be here all fucking night at the rate that we recite this movie.
Fine.
Well, Javier doesn't actually hook up the winch, I don't believe. I think Javier
gets obliterated and eatified.
But you're missing a whole.
Claire Holt retrieves the winch cable and hooks it on, and of course that one's also going to break too. This time, however, Mandy Moore's leg is trapped pinned underneath the cage.
They go up about 10 meters? They go up about 10 meters before they fall again?
Something like that. And also forever on their mind is the fact that they only have a certain amount of oxygen left over. And the movie makes a point that like if they breathe in the nitrogen too much, they'll go bananas. What, Jasmine? What the fuck?
You skipped the whole scene where Mandy Moore got out of the cage to get the flashlight.
Literally. Go ahead. Go
It's
ahead.
a whole scene. It's like a
Say
whole scene.
all the scenes. Say all the scenes, Jasmine. I will sit here. Give me the elevator pitch for this movie. Bing bong. Cisco,
like
let me hold the door for you. Let's go into
That's
this
character
elevator.
progression for Mandy Moore.
Is it?
That's character progression. Yes. She
Okay.
decides to be brave, and because her friend is like literally on like 5 bars, she's only got like 15 minutes of air left. So she decides to go and retrieve the it's a winch. It's a winch and the flashlight.
Yeah,
It's
because
not
they see
Kate
the
that does it.
flashlight.
It's Kate that does it, Mandy.
And to be honest with you, that whole scene, I totally figured it was going to pull Jurassic Park, and she was going to find the flashlight with just holding the arm.
Well, the flashlight was just by itself. And you have Mandy Moore fighting the sharks, and then she gets back to the cage, and then they finally put the winch on, and then fast forward, it falls, and Mandy Moore breaks her leg. Go ahead, Brett. We're back now. Had a couple jump scares.
I was
Go ahead.
muted. I was letting you do your thing. Continue.
Well, I fast forwarded for you. You wouldn't
Mandy
have to hear.
Moore's
I wouldn't-
leg is pinned under the cage, and she's doing a lot of screaming. And what happens next, Jasmina?
Kate swims back
You know what?
up.
I changed my mind. Shut up. Cisco, what happened next?
Well, Kate swims back up and gets a hold of them, says, hey, we're still here, we still not dead. They're like, well, we've called the I think it was the Coast Guard. Yeah, they said we've called the Coast Guard, they're going to be there in an hour. We're sending air tanks down.
Yeah.
So they send air tanks but they
give them a warning.
down.
And they give them a warning, though. The reason why they didn't send air tanks to begin with was
because when you switch air tanks in the middle of a dive like that, it increases your chance of nitrogen. Is it nitrogen narcosis? There was nitrogen narcosis.
Brett, do you know?
I don't know. Do I?
Do you?
I don't know. Do I? I guess we'll find out when we get to the quiz portion of the show.
I'm pretty sure it's nitrogen narcosis, but
don't you dare look it up.
And they were saying,
dirty-ass cheaters.
And they said that after they switch tanks, they need to keep an eye on each other in case one starts acting funny.
But then
off with her head.
Basically what happens is they get the tanks down, Kate grabs them, and as soon as Kate is about to get she basically is putting the you have that intense scene of her drowning and her trying to get the oxygen tank open. And then as soon as she gets her oxygen tank open, basically she gets eaten by a shark.
Jasmine,
and then Mandy is left.
I don't mean to completely derail the nature of this podcast and have a fit, but are you using your good webcam or are you using your basic laptop camera?
I'm using my good one.
Oh, okay.
I'm using my good one.
All right, I'm just checking. You look awfully.
It's lit. It's blue right here.
You look a little blurry.
Your fancy mic that you want me to use.
Did you watch The Ring recently? Because you're looking a little blurry. You look a little down, 47 meters down. So Claire Holt is gone. Mandy Moore is traumatized. What happens next?
She's got to get those that oxygen tank.
Yep.
So she
cuts herself in the process.
Shoots herself with a harpoon.
Does she shoot herself? I don't remember that.
No, she cuts her herself.
Palm of her
she cut
hand.
herself with it.
Yeah, she accidentally pulls the trigger and it like.
Yeah, but it cuts her hand. She doesn't impale herself.
No, but it's still.
That'd have been a completely different movie she did. Yeah. Anyways, so she uses the harpoon to actually like rake in the air tank. She switches air tanks, which, to be completely honest, I don't know how the hell she knows how because she's never dived before.
How hard can it be? It's a couple hoses, a couple turning knobs. Like like we've unhooked air hoses off of like compressors before. It can't be that difficult to figure out.
Maybe not, but I feel like the regulator and all that would probably be.
Well, I
There's probably
mean,
something
she
there
didn't
with
really
that.
have much else of a choice. Was either attempt to do it or die.
That's true. That is very true. But she ends up getting it. And then they end up saying, "Screw it. We're going to." She ends up. No, I'm missing a part there.
She sees.
Lo and behold, she hears Kate.
Yeah, she
Kate
hears
is alive.
Kate. Yes.
But dying slowly, surrounded by sharks.
Mm-hmm. And she's got to leave the safety of the cage in order to reach her sister. So what does she do? She creates
starts digging her leg out of that cage.
Yep, and then she uses, what does she use? I don't remember, like a piece of metal or something to kind of like
cry her,
leverage the weight off enough so that she can slide her leg. That was pretty gruesome. That was pretty
yes.
Way she slid her leg out and screamed.
That's it.
I felt it.
Mm-hmm.
She goes out into the open water to find her sister, which she does, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now it's time to begin the ascent.
Because they don't have any other choice, surrounded by sharks, and her sister is going to die.
And I use that word, the ascent, deliberately because we're getting into a specific part of the movie. Luckily, they have some flares, and apparently flares keep sharks away, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
So as they're rising, they're periodically letting off flares to keep the sharks away. But to this point,
great scenes.
Like we see like one, right?
Mm-hmm.
During this game, but it's not like coming at her, like trying to bite her, and like the flare goes, like keeps it away. It just kind of like swims by them, up until she like drops one, forgetting to light it, and the scene gets very, very dark. And this is like the second best scene in the movie to me. So it's just pitch black. It's dark. She's fumbling around looking for the flare.
Have you ever seen Aquaman? It's very remnant of that scene.
I've not seen Aquaman.
I don't know what you're talking about, and I've seen that movie.
Aquaman, where he goes down into the deeps with the flares.
Where he's trapped with the cage in the sharks?
No, he has to swim all the way down to the bottom of the ocean, and he has a flare, and all you see are the giant monster fish things coming down to him.
To be honest with you, that scene for me personally reminds me of The Mummy at the end, where Benny's stuck in the pyramid with all the scarab beetles.
He's like slowly losing light as they overtake him.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of.
But so she fumbles with the last flare, gets it lit just in time to see like 2 or 3 massive jaws open wide and coming towards them. Like it's like the movie like like slow motion, almost freeze frames for a moment, so you get to see how close, because it's pitch black. We didn't see the sharks as the audience, and obviously neither did she. And then as soon as that red light hits, they're right there. She is like a second from death, but the flare miraculously saves her life. When me and Jasmine first watched that scene, we both jumped so hard. The second time we watched that scene, hold on, Cisco, I'll introduce you in just a second. The second time we watched it, well, this most recent time we watched it, Jasmine jumped again. I didn't because I knew it was coming, but Jasmine jumped again. I watched her do it.
I jumped a couple times.
I think.
Just kidding. I'm not going to introduce you.
Okay, that's fine. Everybody, Brett. Everybody. There you go. I introduced you. But no, with I think we're missing one very crucial thing that we haven't mentioned is that halfway up in their ascent they have to stop.
I was getting to that.
Oh, okay.
This is right before they have to stop for the bends, or is this during the stop for the bends?
I think this is during the stop.
Okay.
Like the whole thing.
They do have to stop for the bends, but inevitably they do make it to the boat, and they're scrambling to try and get on over the side, and the guys are trying to reach down and grab them. Of course, there's some more horror here where Mandy gets grabbed in the jaws by the leg, and the shark starts pulling her under the water, and she fights back tooth and nail and claw, and she gouges out its eye. Which, fun fact, that's what you should do if you are in the jaws of an apex predator like that. Punch it in the face, punch it in the eye, scratch, claw, bite, whatever you can do to get it to let you go. Because at the end of the day, they're just animals, and they don't want to themselves get killed or die. So if you threaten something serious like their eyes, they'll probably let you. They'll be like, this thing isn't worth the trouble. I'm letting it go.
Yeah, nope. Nothing wants a meal that's going to hurt it in the process.
Right. They want an easy meal. They both get lifted onto the boat, and they're like head to head, and the guys are grabbing first aid, and then Mandy starts laughing like, we made it, and then she looks at her
hands. Everything looks weird.
No, like the lights start doing a little thing, and we see the blood from her hand rising in a cloud as though she were underwater, because the pivotal moment of the thing, she's trapped underwater and suffering from the narcosis, nitrogen hallucination stuff. And she imagined the whole thing. She imagined her sister being alive. She imagined being rescued. And she's just laughing, saying, we made it, over and over again, while the guys from the boat are hailing her, saying that she's hallucinating. They're like, hey, the divers are coming down to save you. You're hallucinating. And she's just laughing and saying that we made it. While staring at her hand.
But then there is a pivotal moment where she's like, she realizes like what happened. And she's like, the divers are saving her.
When the Coast Guard divers get there, absolutely. She kind of realizes.
Like bawling her eyes out. They're like, to be honest, their acting in this is so believable. Like the crying and everything. Mm-hmm. Like imagine having to cry in those masks.
The true horror of this movie isn't that she like Cisco said earlier in the episode, if they had just faded to black with her just laughing, saying we made it and staring at her hand and just faded to black, I thought that would have been a great ending.
Mm-hmm.
Full stop. Very much reminiscent of The Descent, where she imagines escaping the cave system altogether. Spoilers for The Descent. And she's just laughing, and she's really just still trapped in the caves forever. And that's just the way the movie ends.
It is.
But they didn't go that way. But they went another more almost as terrifying way. Like, she survived, but she's on the boat alive, but with the realization that her sister's dead.
Yeah.
So. Jasmine, would you want to survive if Savannah was well, I don't want to even talk about it. I don't even want to think about it.
I think that, like, knowing us siblings, I feel like I personally would want you guys to like live on.
I would want you guys to live on, but I wouldn't want to live on.
Well, I would want you to.
If you and Savannah got eaten by sharks, I would. Like I said, I've already drank a bunch of seawater the moment I'm down there. I'm like, fuck this, I'm out. Peace.
I would want you to like live for like mom and dad and stuff.
Nah, it can't be done. Cisco, what about you? You got siblings, yeah? Do you want to imagine them dying? you don't have to answer that.
Not necessarily, but
I'm kidding.
I would definitely try to survive if that was the case. Like, for nothing else, just so their epitaph is badass, but that's besides the point. But no, I if one of my brothers or sisters would pass, I would try to survive as much as possible. I wouldn't just give up.
Yeah.
So that's the end of 47 meters down on that hilarious note.
For those of you who don't know, I forgot to input this, but they filmed this movie in a tank in London, as well as like in the Dominican Republic, for like all the actual like deep scenes.
Okay.
Which is pretty neat. They're about 20 feet deep in the tank.
So in as is usual with this show, there is a quiz, participation of which is mandatory, and a passing grade denotes that you get to continue to keep your job as co-host of the show, Jasmine. Failure to do so will see you further back
all the time, yet I'm still here every.
Well, it just relegates you further back in the number of show. Like Chris Logan beat you, so he's number one. If he's unavailable, then we get you. Cisco is playing to essentially steal your seat as number two. And then maybe someday we'll have to have Cisco and Chris Logan on.
Go ahead. You guys can take over the show, I guess. I mean,
misogyny. So Cisco, we do a quiz on this show, and it's completely fair. It's completely scientific, and no one could ever say otherwise. Number one of the quiz: what is decompression sickness? And feel free to buzz in with your name. Cisco, Or I'm sorry, because I said buzz in with your name.
Oh.
Go ahead, buzz.
The bins.
That is correct. Jasmine, to stay tied with him, what is the bends?
The bends is where if you rise too quickly to
I'm
the
looking for a
surface,
medical thing. What specifically happens with the bends?
you will get bubbles in your brain.
What kind of bubbles?
Air bubbles.
What kind of air?
CO2.
I'm sorry.
What?
Score is 1-0. The correct answer was nitrogen bubbles forming in the circulation of your body.
Really?
Number 2.
Really?
Is
Really?
chumming legal in Mexico?
No.
No. No. Jasmine, no.
Oh, Jasmine gets a half point for actually buzzing in instead of rudely just throwing the answer out there.
I buzzed. He didn't buzz. Why do I get a half point? I get
Because
a full
you're
point.
wrong. You're both, in fact, wrong. It is, in fact, legal to chum in Mexico. However, chumming directly over a dive spot is not. Is it standard practice or stupid to have a lid covering the top of the cage?
Bzz.
All right, go ahead.
They do have a lid, however, they typically leave it open.
Okay. Cisco to steal.
I would say that it's probably a bad idea to have a lid.
That's not the question. So I'll give it to Jasmine for being close. Another
1.5 points.
No,
baby.
a half point. So you're both at
Fine.
1 now.
1
Because you're not
point and
totally
I'm
right.
tied.
Shark cages do, in fact, have lids. However, they are kept closed to prevent the sharks from jumping over the top of the cage and going inside with you.
Oh,
So they
yeah,
have to be kept closed.
that'd be bad.
Also, it's not a bad idea to have lids on there because how else are you going to get inside? If you think about it, if there's not a lid on top, you would have to jump into the water first and go in through the side or go underneath and go under the bottom. So you need a lid on top.
Yeah. I didn't think about it like that.
Yeah. In
Work hard,
August,
Cisco, I'm coming for you.
so 1-1. In August 17th, 1999, Mandy Moore burst onto the scene with her first hit, Candy. It would peak in the US at 41 on the Billboard charts, but was even more popular in Australia, where it reached number 2. For a point, sing to me what you think Candy sounds like. The more soul in it, the more points. An additional point for doing it in an Australian accent. Cisco, you're the guest. Let's start with you.
All I want is that candy, candy, candy on the Barbie. I want that candy, candy.
Okay, I didn't realize she changed the lyrics specifically for Australia, but I appreciate the effort. Jasmine, do you have a rebuttal?
I'm gonna embarrass myself.
That's all this show is us embarrassing ourselves.
I don't know the lyrics. Like all I can say is candy. Sweet as candy. Mandy Moore, you're sweet as candy.
Okay, so Cisco gets all the points because
Okay.
Jasmine had no soul. She did not sing at all. She literally just said a sentence, a true sentence, I'll add. What?
More candy, more. You are amazing. We love you.
So you think that
Marry
Candy Moore?
my brother, please.
Okay, so you think that Mandy Moore sang a song about Mandy Moore being like candy? You think Mandy
Needing
Moore
to
walked
marry
onto
and
TRL
needing
and
to marry
sang?
my brother.
Do you think Mandy Moore in
Brett, if Mandy Moore walked
1999
in, I would try to hook
knew
you up.
11-year-old Brett Gordon walked onto the TRL stage and said, Mandy Moore is my name. I'm like candy and I love you, Brett Gordon. You're 11.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I'll give you a point for some soul because you came back with some soul at the end, but
I
Cisco
tried.
gets the point, gets the bonus point for doing the Australian accent, I guess. And I'm pretty sure Candy is absolutely an actual lyric from it. So
So we'll sing it to us, Brett. What's the actual lyrics to the song?
oh, I don't know. I didn't look them up.
Okay. 0 points for Brett.
I'm not taking the quiz. So that is 3-2 in Cisco's favor. In addition to being 47 meters down in the ocean, Mandy Moore also achieved being at an altitude of over 5,364 meters. Where did she achieve this? Person who's closest gets the point.
somewhere on a mountain.
Okay, Cisco to steal.
I'm gonna say she climbed Mount Everest.
Yeah, wow, great job, Cisco. Yes, Mandy Moore
I don't get a half
reached
point for that.
a total of 5,364 meters at the Nepal base camp of Mount Everest. Jasmine, you get a half point for saying mountain.
Yes.
I didn't think you guys would actually get that. So it's 4 to 2.5. It's still anybody's ball game. 47 meters feels impossibly deep in the movie, but is it really? Without using a calculator or doing math, give me some comparisons for how long or deep 47 meters is. Example, you could say it's X amount of this long.
47 meters.
I'm sorry, we only accept the answers
Beep.
in the form of. Well, go ahead, Mr. Beep.
47 meters would be about roughly, well, it'll be a little bit shy, about 150 feet. So I would say roughly about 50 yardsticks far.
Okay, Jasmine, go ahead.
Well, in real life, they were only about 20 feet deep.
Okay.
That's my answer.
Off to a
That's
bad start.
correct. That is correct, though.
That is not
They
the
were
question.
20
That is
feet
not the
deep.
question. Cisco gets the point. Some examples I could give you here would have been like half an American football field, 2 tennis courts end to end, less than 2 basketball courts, just over 2 adult blue whales, 47 baseball bats, approximately 24 Mandy Moores, approximately 31 Jasmines, less than 4 adult great white sharks. Those are just some of the examples. See, I did the maths so that I could be the entertainer. Points to me. Points to me. You know what? Points to me. So it's
I'm terrible at math. That's all we know.
10 to 5 to 2.5. Anybody's ball game. At some point, Mandy starts hallucinating due to a process called nitrogen narcosis. This is a real thing. How many divers a year suffer from this condition?
Beep.
Mr. Beep.
I would say is it in the United States or everywhere?
This is just point blank.
Period. I would say probably 200.
Okay.
I wouldn't think that thing would be that high.
Okay. Jasmine, the steal.
I was only gonna say like
you gonna prices right this man?
I was just gonna say like 15 people.
15. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, they're
Right.
professional divers.
I'll give the point half point. Half point goes to Cisco. So he's up to 5.5 or 6.
5.5.
5.5 to 2 to 10.
What?
The correct answer, I have 10. The correct answer is all divers suffer from narcosis, nitrogen narcosis. However, not all of them are affected in the same way, but all of them are affected by it at some point or another.
Okay.
Every single one.
So you
Cisco,
can't avoid it?
Cisco, you were correct if only 200 people went diving this year. I guess it's not something that can be avoided, but
yeah,
it's something to be managed.
It's probably, to be honest with you, it's probably something that it's just how bad of a degree of nitrogen narcosis you get.
During the stream, and this is important to see if you were paying attention. This is for bonus points. During the stream, Vinny, my good friend, go check out her merch, which I helped design some of them, and follow her on Twitch at VinnyT3. She mentioned a couple other names for nitrogen narcosis. Feel free to give me other names for this condition. A point for each one you can name. Ooh, I'll sweeten the pot. 2 points. If you get close to one, I'll give you 2 points.
Bins?
No, that's not what I'm looking for.
Um,
And also, you didn't buzz in, so that's -2.
Oh my god.
This is Jeopardy rules, baby.
Yeah, this
Cisco?
is whatever Brett says goes. It doesn't matter.
Cisco to steal?
Beep. Nitrogen poisoning?
Incorrect. You're down to 3. Anybody got any more guesses? I'll let you guys keep going. It's 3-0. Anybody's ball game.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm tone tap out myself on that one.
Okay, all right. No one wants to take it. Raptures of the Deep is one. Inert gas narcosis, or the martini effect is the one Vinny said.
Oh, I remember her saying that. Okay.
I don't remember that.
I remember the martini effect. I didn't think
Sorry,
that
Vinny,
was
I don't
the
remember that.
I tell you what, Jasmine, I will make this next point worth 3 points. So you could
Okay.
effectively tie Cisco, and Cisco, this is for the win. However, if you both get this right, then
I still lose.
Cisco wins. Yeah. So do you have like a piece of paper, like a post-it note or anything near
I
you
like
with
we
a
do
pen?
math.
I don't need you to do math. Do you have anything to write on? Do you have a cell phone? Anything at all?
Yes, I have a cell phone.
Okay. Open up your notes and get ready to write your answer down. I'm going to read the question and you're going to write a simple yes or no.
All right, give me 1 second here. Let me get my notes up.
The question: can you fart while diving? Bonus points. One bonus point if you can explain to me why or why not. Please show your work. And pencils down, ladies and gentlemen. Cisco. Jasmine said pencils down. I said pencils down. Cisco, what'd you get?
I want to say no.
Okay. And pressure being the reason?
Yes, because the pressure exerting on you while you're diving would probably be a lot more than you could probably push without hurting yourself.
Okay. I like the science angle you took with that. Jasmine, what did you put?
So I drew a butt farting and a line across from it saying no, you can't fart while you're diving because you're letting air out of your body at a very in the deeps.
Okay.
And that's a no because you'd probably fucking destroy your butt.
You probably destroy your butt
in your body. You're like easier way letting air out when you're that deep is not good for your body, and I feel like it would definitely cause problems.
Can I? The only
look at my picture. Look at my butt.
You don't get bonus points for the picture of the butt, but I appreciate the effort.
The only way I could figure that you could possibly fart underwater is if you were in a pressurized suit, or if you were in like a diving bell.
Okay. Well, guys, I hate to be the bearer of bad news here, but you guys have never been into a pool or a river or a lake or the beach?
Of
course you can fart underwater.
Deep.
That wasn't the question. The question was, could you fart while diving?
When you have all that gear on.
But of course, if you have to fart and you're diving, you can fart. Your body is just your body. You can fart. The correct answer was yes, you can fart. However, you should not fart. You should hold it because you could either rip your wetsuit. You could also be, this is literally what the internet says. You could be shot up like a missile and get decompression sickness. So I will give a bonus point to Jasmine because she was the closest. So I'm going to tie it up. Tiebreaker time. Boop, boop, boop. I had one more. Haha, secret surprise. Would you go shark dive?
Yes.
After seeing this movie?
Yes.
Cisco?
I would say yes, but not in open water.
Okay. Well, you're both incorrect. The correct answer for that is no. For staying alive, no. So, congratulations. You both tie. But Cisco, you automatically get a bonus point for being our guest, which means you're the winner!
Woo!
Woo!
I never win.
Oh, Ryan Vergara, it feels so bad. Well, it's time to hit that dusty old trail. I almost dropped my microphone.
Well, since this is a positivity podcast, I don't want Jasmine to lose her job. I'm going to give my half point to Jasmine.
Thank you.
So
Pity points.
That's
Love
very
it.
sweet.
Hey,
very sweet.
real quick, Brad, did you know? Do you know if there were any real sharks in this movie?
Oh, do you mean if they used actual footage of real? Yeah, absolutely, 100% they did.
No, like in the actual movie, like with Mandy Moore and them, were there any real sharks?
Oh, during the filming with Mandy Moore? No.
Mhm.
No,
That
they
is-
used footage of actual sharks throughout the movie, but Mandy Moore and Claire Holt were never around any actual.
They used a giant plaster head of a shark.
I'm very well aware because I watched the behind the scenes of this movie because I'm a psychopath.
So fun fact.
Fun fact indeed. So that was 47 meters down. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Please give us
Number
a rating
one
and
on
a
the
review.
list.
Number one on the list. And number one in our hearts is Cisco, aka Klayshen. Go follow him on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, all the places. Links are in the description.
What do you have to say?
Cisco, we'll have you back for another episode. I can't say when. You'll just have to keep following every episode until he comes back. Also, this year, I intend to have a few more guests as well. You'll have to... I'm not going to announce anything just yet, but there's a few people I've got my little eye on, and they're gonna swim with the fishes, aka us.
So stay tuned, everybody.
Yeah, so we're going to be watching a few movies this week. We're not going to announce the next one, as is tradition, because every time we announce it, they remove it from Amazon and we can't.
Because what else would go wrong for this podcast?
Right. It's really a pain in the ass. I think that happened to us at least 3 times where we checked to make sure the movie was available and then it was time to stream and it was gone. So it's just a thing that happens to us. So we will announce it. The day and date, it'll most likely be on a Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern, just like it normally is. This movie will also be on twitch.tv/Meteor Doll. So make sure you go follow Jasmine at Meteor Doll, METEOR Doll.
I'm a meteor full of dolls.
So we will be we will be recording the next episode of Jawsbreakers at Meteor Doll. Yeah, and then also we got some other fun things planned for this year. Please stick around. Hopefully we can make Shark Week happen this year. I think we can do it.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
As long as we can remember when it is.
I'm putting it into the universe. We want to do a full Sharknado marathon 1 through 6. Every single day.
I'm totally down for that if you all would have me.
With tons of games and trivia and prizes. We want to do like...
what are these prizes that you're paying for? Because I didn't know about that.
So maybe we'll give away some Jawsbreakers merch,
Yeah. Something. We'll see.
Something you got to be here to find out, y'all.
Yeah. I mean, she said it, so I guess we have to do it now.
Be there or be square.
And Cisco, you're definitely welcome for the marathon.
Yeah.
It's going to be 6 days. 6 days of streaming movies. So.
Oh, I thought we were doing them all in one.
No, it's Shark.
We're doing a 24-hour stream.
No. We ain't doing that. It's Shark Week. It's every single day. We can talk about this off camera. I'm all down for doing all 6 movies, one each day, and then like the last day, watching all of them all over again over the course of one day.
I'll have to find me a shark onesie before then.
So please do. So we can talk about those details later. That's what we want to do for Shark Week. If they don't sneak Shark Week up on us like they did last time. I got a new job, so I'll be able to actually do things on the weekends again, which was the big hang up last year. So that'll be lovely. And we got some requested movies in the list this year. We got some movies that I'm excited to see. And I'm talking to some people to be guests and look forward to Cisco being back. That's going to be it for Jawsbreakers, a Scary Funny Shark Show. Follow me at Breaker is Dead. That's right. I changed it. It's no longer Breaker Streams. It's now Breaker is Dead. One word because I just don't stream anymore. I just don't do it. But I guess we'll still have some Jawsbreaker streams on there, but
and
Cisco,
you can also follow me
at Meteor Doll. We've already said that. Jasmine, do you have anything relevant Cisco, that you want to say before we sign off?
And thank you, Cisco, so much for joining us.
Thank you, Cisco. For having me. We'll see you back at the house. Cisco, do you have anything you want to say before we leave?
I think I'm good. I think you've all covered it. All I have to say is I would like to introduce both Jasmine and Brett.
I think I'm good, like candy
He
in
looked
the
up
hood.
the lyrics.
And no, I did not look up. Do you think she really said I'm candy, sweet like
I don't
candy
know.
in the
I have
hood?
no idea. I don't even know what the
No.
movie is about. But we love you, Mandy Moore.
It's a
Thank
song.
you
We love you,
all
Mandy Moore.
so
Please
much
come on to
for
our show. We'd love to have you
watching.
on.
And number one movie
Don't
on our list.
forget
Thank you.
to
Confirmed.
really dragging this out.
Come on, Cisco. You remember what it is.
I know.
Okay.
Ready, everybody?
Oh, go ahead.
Ma, you
Oh,
son
you
of a
son of a
bitch!
bitch.
As long as it's still on Amazon, when it's time, it's gonna be Jurassic Shark.
Heck yeah.
That's what
Oh,
we'll be watching.
I'm excited for that.
Is that what we should do for the end bit? At the end, is like reveal what we hope we can watch. And if people listen this far, like they get to be in the know. You're the real fan if you're
Yeah.
listening to this part.
You're
Here.
the real MVP.
You're the real the baddest of the bad. And I
The
mean
coolest of the cool.
the coolest of the Buddhist.
You know you're still recording, right?
Yeah, I know what I'm doing. What are you doing?
Why are you sharing your screen? What are we seeing here?
You're gonna see the
I'm
trailer for
seeing-
Jurassic Shark.
Oh, okay.
Jurassic
down for-
Shark.
I'm
I
down
know
for
we
New
had
that.
ending.
problems last time.
I'm bringing it back.
Oh
I mean,
no,
I mean,
we're gonna get
nothing-
monetized.
We're not
I mean, nothing
monetized
else.
anyway. Monetized is like it
Is that
means
the
we're
word?
making money off of it, which we're not.
Demonetized.
Demonetized. We're gonna get
We're
I mean,
court
if
bail.
nothing-
Nothing
Who
else we play.
cares?
Nothing else you all can.
Here
do
we
it on
go. The
Discord
trailer
again.
for Jurassic Shark. Can you guys hear it?
We cannot.
Did y'all hear that?
No,
No.
I hear nothing
I'm glad.
but the sound of Cisco's beautiful voice.
Well, thank you.
Uh-huh. Oops, I hit the wrong. Oh,
Oh,
customize
God,
and
get that
save.
off of my
Hang on.
screen.
Hang on. I'm working on. Why can't I do this?
Tomcat Film.
Oh, here we go.
presents Jurassic Shark.
Here we go. Shut the hell up.
What was that? Something in the water.
Awesome.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Is that a volcano?
What is that thing? Shark!
We drilled too deep, unleashed a predator we haven't seen in 200 million years.
That's a big shark.
Those are attractive ladies. Oh yes. The badass lady with the gun.
Oh, we got a fake leg.
Why is that man? Oh my god. Free Willy.
Flying sharks! Flying sharks confirmed!
Hey, you want me fish? I'm not supposed to jump food. You want me? You're chum, bitch.
You're chum, bitch.
Jurassic Shark.
To be honest with you, I want a shirt now that says "Your chub, bitch."
Honestly, pretty good. Not gonna lie. Pretty damn good.
Merch ideas, everybody.
For one, sorry, 47 meters down. So apologies to Mandy Moore.
No, absolutely not. Don't even go there.
Is that the
I
name of this
will not
episode?
allow it.
Apologies to Mandy Moore.
Will not allow it. Scratch that. Cancel that.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.